guys ready to rock and roll? Well, first of all, just excited for this opportunity to just to be here, and I just thank God and my family for everything that I have. Just really thankful to Coach Sweeney who gave me this opportunity almost 4 seasons ago. So much time that went by so fast, and just thankful to all the people that make things happen. That's our president, our AD, our board of trustees, our fans. This coaching staff and all the admins and people that make this place special. Because it's the people that make this place. And Clemson has really been a huge asset to me in my life. It's where I got my career started 20-some years ago. And so I'm just really thankful for the opportunity just to be here. And thankful for the families and the players that have an opportunity to lead every day. And so it's just been a really life booster for me being here, and especially at a place of faith, and it's really changed my life for the better. So just truly excited to be a Clemson Tiger. Just wanted to take the time to say that, and man, God has just been so good, and it's been truly a blessing. And looking forward to this upcoming season. Have a lot of talent on the defensive line, and but we got to go show it. Resume and reputation mean nothing in this game. You got to every year you got to go out and prove yourself, and it's an opportunity to put your hand in the dirt and go win your one-on-one matchups. So just really been challenging our defensive line to lead, and Coach Allen always talks about accountability, toughness, and love, and I've challenged those guys to really bond off the field, and they've responded to that. Just really taking the time to get to know each other. It just creates a bond that they become more than a teammate. Family, just not a word. It's something that you put into action when you're spending time with each other and get to know each other. And so those guys have responded to the challenge of just really trying to build that bond amongst each other. And so really proud of the way they've done that. And that starts, with the guys, the senior leadership, with DeMonte Capehart, trickles down to Peter Woods and Stephon Green and Vic Burley and Champ Thompson, Heather Brown Schumann, and all the rest of the guys that are in that room. And I'm really proud of the way they have been working this offseason and continue to bond, just to make themselves the unit that a lot of people are writing and talking about. But the game isn't played through social media. It's not played in writing, man. It's about what you do when you put your hand in the dirt, and that's what it comes down to. And got a lot to prove, got a lot to show. It starts now, just doing the daily things and creating those daily habits that help you be successful. And so that's what I've challenged the defensive tackle room and the defensive line with, just being great every day. Everybody's got a goal, but it's about what you do on a day-to-day basis that's going to make you great. As I've always said, you can't have $1 million dream with a minimum wage work ethic. So whatever it is that you want to achieve, you got to consistently do those things on a daily basis, and in order to be great. And that's got to be a mindset. I always challenge them, it's really about, being an elevator. And, everybody's like an elevator. You're either taking people up or you're taking them down. And so, in order to be great, you got to be an elevator that takes people up, and you make the room better. Wherever you at. When you operate in your gift, you don't have to be at the head of the table, or wherever you sit or stand, the room will shift. And so, challenge the guys to be room shifters and make people better.
Peter Woods will have his best year.
It just comes down to consistency for Peter. Being consistent, taking care of his body, and just being what he's capable of being. I've challenged him in an area of his life to be better, and he's responded to that. So I'm really proud of him for that, and I think that it just starts with those daily decisions, daily habits. It comes down to just taking care of his body, leading from the front, and all the workouts. It's about what you eat, how you eat. It's about how you sleep. It's the little things, and that's going to allow him to be great this season.
How much has he changed his body this offseason?
Changed it a lot. Just been really focused and really doing a good job of just doing, self-care. Mindset is different. And it comes down to feeding your soul as well. Having that connection with God. He's a man of faith, and challenge the guys to be connected, with the Lord, and and then really just putting everything into action that we talk about. It's easily to talk about things, but you got to put it into action. And you can trust the plan, but you got to attack a plan as well. And he's done a good job of attacking the plan that's been put forth in front of him in order to play at the elite level that people are expecting him to play at.
Who's been your most improved out since spring game?
The most improved has been Vic Burley. Really proud of kind of the way he's just really stepped up his game this offseason. Faced a lot of adversity early out in his career, and with the amount of guys that were out this past spring, it gave him an opportunity to get better. So I'm really proud of the way that he responded with the amount of reps that he got this offseason, and just the way he responded to the challenge and staying healthy and being available, and just his mindset. And so really expecting him to continue to climb upward and onward. But I would say it'd be big.
What's his ideal way, I guess, and what is it? Where you want him to be?
Who's that? Big?
And Peter, I guess I was going to ask that too.
I really, when it comes to ideal weight, in terms of weights for guys, I think the most important thing is just looking at the body composition. And I think, different guys look different ways at different weights. And so, I'm more into body composition and body fat for me. And then how you play it and how you run. You get an opportunity to watch guys run, you get an opportunity to watch guys play. And so I think that that varies for different guys, but you want guys to be able to run for full quarters and be elite in terms of endurance. This game is a game of endurance. It's a game of who can hit harder the longest. And whatever their weight is, for those guys, that's what it is. I think that it's hard to really just put out numbers for different guys because all the guys are relatively different. And I think Megan, our nutritionist, has done a really good job of just helping change their bodies. Really proud of what she's brought to the table in terms of just helping guys bring their body fat down and really holding those guys accountable to the nutrition part of it. So really thankful to Megan, our nutritionist, just for doing what she does and being the lead of that.
You always want players to add something to their toolkit every year. Is there something in your coaching toolkit that starting this new year you maybe didn't have last year?
No, I just think this for me is just purely being consistent and leading by example and holding those guys to what their goals are. It's easily sit down. We can sit down and talk about goals, but it's my job as a coach to hold them accountable to those goals they set for themselves, even when it comes down to academics. That's one of the number one purposes of our program is to graduate our players, and so being very intentional about holding them accountable, and just really being intentional about being connected with the other people in this building. Our bistro staff, director of our athletic training room, director of our recovery, the weight room, and academics. Just really checking in with those people, and so those guys have really felt that my presence in every area of their lives, and just personally as well, sitting down and being intentional about connecting them and seeing what's going on with their family. These kids are still kids, but they're still human, and nobody's exempt from having issues. And so, just being intentional with connecting them, and from a spiritual standpoint, in their education, how they're training, and showing up on time and being where they're supposed to be, and that's been something that I've really just been tuning into, and just making sure I hold myself accountable and hold them accountable as well. And it's about the little details of our daily decisions, our daily habits, and making sure that I'm intentional about holding them accountable to their daily actions as well. So.
How have you seen maybe the character development from Peter, now entering year 3, now an upperclassman, just being on campus, being a Tiger, and then once again you've hit on already how he's definitely now a leader amongst that line?
Everybody needs accountability, even your best players. And, I've had a lot of one-on-one conversations with him and just challenged him to be the man that God has called him to be in every area of his life. He's blessed with God-given talent, but you got to go play. Having talent is one thing, but you got to go put it on tape consistently and at a high level. But it starts in the off season with taking care of your body, And so I've challenged him in a lot of areas of his life, and I think he's done a really good job of responding and being consistent with that. And I think he's had his best offseason. And he's got to continue to do that, have a really great camp, and then go out and show people, that he is, what people have talked about. And this is his time and this is his year. But he's got to go play. And that's what it comes down to. Got to go play.
What do you want to see out of Cape Hart?
Cape Hart, man, highly talented. He's got size, he's got length. He has all the intangible, has all the tools. And he's done a really good job this year of just, taking care of his body, being really locked in, being really focused. But he's got to go play. He got to play big and play. And I'm looking forward to watching him just continue to develop daily so that he can play at an elite level. Because you see flashes of that all the time, but he's got to be more consistent with it. And he stepped up to the challenges that I presented, to him this offseason, and I'm really proud of him as well. Just the way he's responded to that mindset has been different, how he's training, how he's eating, how he's sleeping, taking care of his body, and just being really focused on what matters the most. And I think that he's going to do a really, really, really good job this year, but it's going to take me leading him daily and holding him accountable, and I think he's going to respond very well. But you see the size, you see the length, you see the power, and showed up on tape, and just got to be consistent. But I'm really excited, for him, and obviously this will be his last year, and so it's got to be the year. So.
And then with maybe it's more a strength and conditioning question, but and not necessarily just with Peter, but with defensive tackle, it's a position where it's important for you to hold your ground,
hold the point of attack,
as well as being explosive. How do you just approach someone like Peter absorbing double teams at an elite level, but then also being explosive enough to evade them?
Well, I just think that's your job as defensive line. That's what you sign up for. You sign up to take on those 700 pounds. And so, that just comes with technique and fundamentals. And that's what the game is about, being elite at your technique and fundamentals, and me just doing a good job with being intentional, because humans are creatures of habit. And it's just really doing those drills that help you perfect, being able to be elite at holding the point of attack, whether it's against single blocks or combination blocks. And that's your job as a defensive lineman. That's what you sign up for. And so we just got to be intentional about how we approach our daily habits at practice and the things that we're doing, and make sure those drills are a reflection of what we're doing defensively, and that those drills show up on tape. You don't want to just be drilled just to be drilling because the drill looks cool. And sometimes it just comes down to just doing the simple things as block recognition drills every day, repeatedly over and over and over, until you get great at it. And that's one of the things I learned when I played for Coach John Mitchell, when I played for the Steelers. We did about 3 or 4 drills every day, but we were elite at what we did because we were consistent and just really being creating those habits of just playing the blocks we're going to see every weekend, every week. And that's what we're going to do here, is just be consistent with the things that we're going to be doing as defensive linemen and getting great at those things. And sometimes that may be 4 or 5 things, maybe a bunch of drills. It's just going out there, being able to see formation, being able to see blocks, and being able to hold a point of attack, whether it's against single blocks or combination blocks, and being able to win your one-on-one matchups as it pertains to pass rush. And that's what it's going to come down to. So it's my job to make sure I'm consistent with those drills day in and day out, and just holding them accountable, and just being able to watch film and evaluate them as well as evaluate the drills that I'm doing to make sure they're a reflection of what we're doing defensively.
Can you describe the feeling or the frustration last year as a coach of having so many problems stopping the run, where it seemed easy some of those offenses, it seemed easy for them to just slam the run? Can you describe what that felt like?
I think, at the end of the day, there's a standard of how we play defense here, and last year was not that standard, and so we got to be better. And you are what you put on tape, and we put some bad stuff on tape last year. Obviously, it's frustrating for everyone, and so we got to be better, and that's why Tom Allen is here. We got to make some changes, but We just gotta start with us as coaches, just being intentional. And really just going and getting those mistakes corrected that caused the big plays last year. And so we'll get that fixed, and I think we've gotten that fixed. We've done a really good job this spring, because that's where it started. It starts in the off season. Just doing a lot of self-evaluation. It starts with coaching. It starts with what we're teaching, how we're teaching it, and then making some adjustments. And so those explosive plays don't happen anymore.
Is there a coaching or philosophy difference between Coach Allen and Coach
there's a lot of things. I think, Tom has just brought in a lot of great leadership since he's been here, just being intentional about what he believes in. And, he's been really intentional about connecting with players, being really intentional about connecting with his staff. And, it's just, the difference is, I think Wes is a good coach and a good coordinator. I'm not knocking him, but it's a different vibe and different style, for every defensive coordinator and what they bring to the table. And I think Tom has just done a really good job of coming in and just implementing what he believes in and being intentional and holding not only the players accountable, but holding the staff accountable as well. And it's been a huge addition for us. And so I just think that it's all about onward and upward and about moving forward. And Tom is here. He's here for a reason, and it's my job as a position coach to help him be successful, and for all of us to be successful. And so that's my coaching philosophy. Is just roll my sleeves up and do whatever it takes to help everybody win in this building. And so, but talking defensively, we've got to be better, and we will be better.
It seems like he's been really intentional about empowering the systems. How important is that just as a position coach?
It's been really good. We all got our name on this, and my name is on what happened last year too as well. It's not just on West Gould. We're all a part of that, and so we got to get better. I think Tom is, you're talking about empowering us position coaches. He has done that, and he's been really intentional about connecting with us as men, and then connecting with us as a coaching staff. And that's just not something he talks about, but it's intentional with his actions every day. How he goes about leading us, in our staff meetings and connecting, like I said again, with the players, and just empowering us as position coaches to be the head coaches of our room. That's, that's been Coach Sweeney's philosophy. You are the head coach of your position, and Tom is just really, extending that message, to us as a defensive staff to really hold our guys to be accountable and just lead our rooms. And this business comes down to it comes down to leadership and being relational, and that's what it's about. Being able to lead your room and make people better. I said it earlier. Everybody's like an elevator. You're taking people up or you're taking them down. And so I've accepted the challenges, being a head coach in my position and doing what I need to do to make the guys better that I have my hands on. And that's this entire team.
Outside of DeMonte Capehart and Peter Woods, who do you expect to kind of have a coming out party this year?
I'm looking for our young guys to step up. Stephon Green had a lot of playing time next year, and looks really good. He's been training really hard. Looking forward to seeing what Champ Thompson and Heaven Brown-Schuler and Vic Burley is going to bring to the table. Some guys that really haven't had an opportunity. It's like, when you have great depth, that's when you have a great room. It's not just about the guys you hear about, it's the guys that's rotating in the game as well. And that's what makes great defenses, because guys get banged up in this business. And so those guys that are going to have an opportunity to step in those roles, they got to be great too. And so I'm looking forward to watching Burley and Heaven Brown-Schuler and Champ Thompson and Stephon Green come in and just compete. And, the guys that were available, this all, during the spring, which was, Heaven Brown-Schuler and Vic Burley, I thought they did a really good job of just getting better. Zaire Patterson, looking forward to see what he's going to do, man. Long length, got a lot of ability, and he's going to have an opportunity just to help us this year as well. So looking forward to that. But like I said, the games are not won in the off season, but they have been very intentional about doing the things to help them be successful moving forward.
You haven't mentioned Adams yet. I was curious what you
Omar,
think. Yeah.
he is an elite player. Amari has all the tools, has all the intangibles to be a great defensive lineman, and it doesn't get any better than him. I think Amari is going to be a very natural leader for us. Great personality, comes from a great family, very humble spirit, very strong, can move, foresight. He does all the things the right way. Heard nothing but great things about him just throughout this building, throughout across campus, and really looking forward to see what he's going to put on tape. A highly recruited kid, one of the top, obviously the top defensive lineman in the state of South Carolina, and but he's got to go put it on tape, and so he just got here in January, and going through spring, I think a lot of times, as I'm out there coaching him and challenging him, man, I'm looking at this kid, and I was like, man, he's still actually in high school, 17 years old, and he's 6'5", 315 pounds, and he's got all the tools, got all the tangibles. But he's got a lot of work to do. Got a lot of technical fundamentals, and obviously understanding the playbook and understanding how to play on this level. But in terms of being elite and having a toolbox to really go do some great things with what he has, he's got everything. And man, just glad that we got him here, and that he's a part of our organization. And he is definitely a kid that's going to he's made our room better already. He's going to make this team better, and he leads in the right way and does all the right things. And truly excited about what he's going to do moving forward.
Did he help with getting early attention during the spring?
I think that any time that you bring in elite talent into a room, it elevates the room. When guys can see that, man, there are other people in here that can play, and you're constantly bringing in talent every year, it really creates a whole nother level of competition. And so when there's competition in the room, it's going to elevate the room to be better. Because you're going to have to work hard to maintain where you're at, and I challenge those guys all the time, like, hey, we're all brothers in this room, but it's your job to come in and be the best version of yourself. That's going to challenge the man next to you. He's your brother, but at the end of the day, when you step on that field, you're challenging him every day, and that's what having Amari Adams has done. It's gotten the attention of a lot of guys in that room. Because he's coming here with a different mindset and being ready to work. He's very serious about his business. He wants to play and wants to be great. But like I said, he's going to have to get out there and earn it and do everything that is necessary to be great.
How difficult was it to lose Peter last year ago to the edge?
Oh, for me, it wasn't difficult at all because he's playing defensive line, and I have an opportunity to touch all those guys, from the defensive ends to the linebackers to the D-tackles to the secondary. He was still wearing a Clemson Tiger helmet, and in today's world, I'm thankful for that because you have this transfer portal nowadays, and I'm just glad he was wearing a helmet playing defensive end for us. And so it wasn't difficult at all. It shows you that how unselfish of a football player he is to move into a different position, but he's one of the guys that can do it. And he did. That's called being a team player. And I'm really thankful of how he handled that. And then obviously he's back at home with his home coach now. And but no, it wasn't difficult at all to be able to allow him to go play defensive end and be at both spots.
How different does he look physically right now?
Body looks great. You can tell that he's really been working hard with his nutrition and changed his body composition. Been here a lot over the summer when he could have been at home and been a lot of other places, but he's been working out in the heat and just continuing to train and continuing to take care of his body. And so just really excited, for him and being consistent with the daily habits and his daily decisions in order to make himself be the elite great player that we think he's capable of being.
When you got a guy like him that's got that ceiling and so many people are saying so many great things about coming into this year, how do you keep that person grounded and make sure they know that they can still get to another level and maybe even a level beyond that?
I think it just really starts with the relationship with him, and just being intentional about connecting with him. I've been connected to him for a long time now, and when you have that connectivity with your players, you can challenge them. And so I've been able to bring them often to challenge him in every area of his life, and he respects me. And so it comes with that connectivity with your players, and to be able to challenge them. You know, Tom talks about it all the time. He talks about accountability, toughness, and love. In order to hold your players accountable and be tough on them, you got to love them first. And so I've been intentional about loving him and then just challenging him, man. Just got to go put it on tape every day. And you know, your players are always watching how you treat your elite players. And I've always been a coach that really challenged the best guys and the players in the room, because everybody else is watching, and holding him to the same standard that I hold all the rest of the guys. And so he's responded to that well. And you know, I don't do a lot of reading the newspaper clippings, but I hear there's a lot of great things out there about him. But you know, it's my job to just say, hey man, you know, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, it ain't gonna be on the field. You know, when that ball get put down, it's about what you put on tape, and it's about the little things that you do in the off season. And I think he's responded to that well, and I'm looking forward to see what he's gonna do.
There have been a lot of great defensive linemen that have come through here, even recently, whether it's Dexter or Christian.
Right.
I mean, can he be right there, that same sentence with all those guys when he's here?
I think as you start, you know, mentioning him in the conversation of the great defensive linemen that have been here, those linemen became great at what they put on tape, and you know, he's put some greatness on tape, and but we want him to be the elite. He's got to just be consistent with doing that, and it started with taking care of his body, and I think he checked that box this offseason. He's been really, really focused, and you know, now it's about, you know, really going out there on the field and being intentional every day and leading from the front, and doing everything necessary to back up what's been said, because that's what it's going to come down to. And you know, I think that I really know that from the conversations I had and just the work that I've seen him put in, because it's really about what you do with me. It ain't about what you say. And it's not about what they say, it's about what you do. And he's been doing the doing, and he's really been putting it into action. And so from what I've seen, I'm really excited about what he's going to do to put him in the conversation with the elite defensive linemen, as you mentioned, Dexter Lawrence and Christian Wilkins. You know, he's trending in that direction. Is he there yet? Not there yet, but he's trending in that direction, and just got to make sure I continue to hold him accountable, and every single day.
How challenging is it to kind of go out on the recruiting trail and this NIL, spend so much time building relationships, and it seems like everything's so transactional?
I think, you know, really we just got to be intentional about who we are, and just not compromising the things that Coach Sweeney has built this program off of, and that's, you know, graduating our players, equipping them with tools for life, making sure they have a great college experience, and then obviously winning the championship. And you can't ever compromise, you know, giving up the relationships because of what's going on in college football. I think I just, you know, I'm still going to be intentional about building a relationship. This still is a relationship business. And, you know, and that's just kind of where the landscape of college football is at, you know, with NIL. But, you know, it's my job to continue to be who I am and continue to build those relationships. And relationships do matter. Who you work with matters, who you're playing with matters, who you're coaching matters, who you're getting coached by matters. And I think that my job is, as a defensive tackles coach, to continue to focus on that and control the things I can control. And that's all I can control, is how I treat people, how I build relationships, how I recruit, you know, how I, you know, be intentional about knowing what our program is about, and really just continue to extend that message that comes from our head coach. And that's all I can control. I can't control the NIL world, and that's not my job to do that. My job is to love on these players that I currently have, continue to recruit the elite talent that's out there, and let the chips fall where they may, and be intentional about that, because, you know, this is Clemson, and a lot of people, a lot of players and recruits and families are looking for what we're about, and that can help us win national championships.
Coach Eason, how much pride do you take in your shoe game now?
I don't really have a shoe game. I think that, you know, since I, you know, lost a little weight, I try to dress a little better. But I don't have I'm not one of these guys that's got 100 pair of shoes sitting in my closet. You know, this is some free dunks, to be honest with you. They were not purchased. They were given to me by Nick Yeard over in our equipment room. So truly excited about these, and they're pretty consistent with the gear here. So they make it look good.
Hey, free is always good.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you, Coach.
No, thank you.
Appreciate you, sir.
No, man, appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Looking good. Great.
You still jamming on the?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Always.
Still got
Never
time?
stop.
Never stopping? How often you play in a week?
Oh, like you mean
Like
playing out?
drunk? No, just in it.
I work from home, so I always have to.
You jump on it?
You've been down there.
Yeah.
My office slash.
So even if I got guitars sitting out, but I don't always pick them up. Probably hardly
So
never.
my desk is sitting there, my computer, and I'm
Yeah.
take breaks.
Take a break, just get on a jam, just turn some music on and play with it.
Yeah, put on headphones.
Oh, okay. Is it electric? No. Not electric though. Oh, you put the music in your ear.
Yeah, just play along.
Oh, I got you. Good, man. All right.
Keeps you feeling young.
Huh?
Keeps you feeling young.
Absolutely.